attorneys, deputy district attorneys on behalf of the state, who both parties stipulate to the privilege of our jury.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take this moment to remind you guys that there is media coverage regarding this case. You guys see all the cameras that are in the courtroom. In this particular situation, it is very important that you follow and abide by the admonishment that I give you. That you guys are not allowed to read the newspaper, you're not allowed to have any media coverage or anything like that in regards to this case. Because you guys are going to determine the facts and the evidence in this case based on what you hear in this courtroom. So it's very important that you guys remember, anything you may have seen or heard outside of this courtroom is not evidence, and it must be disregarded. Anything that I have deemed to be admissible evidence is what you will be considering in your deliberation. But it is very important that you guys do not do any outside research in regards to this case, and that you do not have any communication on social media, that's by phone, text, internet. You do not read, watch, or listen to the news or media accounts or commentary about this case. You do not make any investigation. I know you guys have heard me say that, and you could probably memorize it yourself by this point, but that is very, very important to preserve the integrity of this trial and make sure that both sides have their right to a fair trial preserved, because we are counting on you guys to give that to them. If anyone tries to approach you or anything in regards to any media coverage or anything, please make sure you let Officer Page know, who will then bring it to my attention. And ladies and gentlemen, during the presentation of the next witness, I just want to alert you that one of the district attorneys will be wearing headphones, and that is not a sign of disrespect to any of you guys. She has some additional things she needs to do to make sure we keep this trial on track and make sure that we keep going. So that is not in any way a sign of disrespect, and please do not consider that in any way. State, are you prepared to call your next witness?
Yes, Nicole Marion.
Nicole Mariam, Nicole-Mariam.
Thank you. Ma'am, can you remind the jury what it is you do?
So I work for the Henderson Police Department as a crime scene analyst too.
And ma'am, last night did I inform you that there were a couple jury questions I needed to recall you very briefly as a witness?
Yes.
I want to first ask you about these samurai swords. There was a little confusion with Detective Ozawa. I believe he didn't know what went on with them.
Okay.
Can you tell us what you did with those samurai swords?
Sure. So obviously we saw them, and in this case they were something we definitely took note of. We looked at each of the three swords. We took them out of the sheaths, so we actually looked at the blades. There was no damage. There was no dents in the blades. The blades weren't bent. We saw no signs of apparent blood on the blade or on the handle or on the sheaths. So we did thoroughly visually inspect the swords, and there was no indication that any of these three swords were used as a weapon.
There was also a little confusion with the DNA analyst, and I want to address it with 238. Do you recognize this phone?
Yes, that's the cell phone that Detective Carrie Skinner had.
And 236, got a little glare going, but fair to say there's a crack across the screen.
Yes.
And then with your mouse, do not click, but you can toggle over where you saw the apparent blood.
Okay. So right here, you can see it starts right there, and it is swiped up. You can kind of see that movement up there. So that was the area of apparent blood on the thumb.
And so at the bottom, you see kind of a ring.
Yes.
And you're familiar with blood. You've seen a lot of blood in your career.
Yes.
Did this appear to be like a drop of blood?
Yes, it appeared to be a drop of blood that had dried and skeletonized. So that means it dries, and then remnants are kind of left behind. So you can see it was swiped. So it looks like there was a drop of blood, and then something moved through that blood, swiping it across the screen.
What part of this phone did you swab for DNA?
The area where the blood was at.
Not the back of the phone?
No, on my evidence impound, it clearly states the screen was swabbed. The sole purpose of this swab was to collect that blood. So I focused specifically on that area of blood with the swabs.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll pass it away.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. You know, in reference to this purported confusion, we heard from DNA specialist, forensic scientist Elizabeth Papakostas. Do you know her?
No,
Have you ever worked with her?
no,
You've given testimony that you've been involved in hundreds of crime scenes. So through the course of your employment at the Henderson Police Department, you've never worked with Ms. Papakostas?
no. Does she work for the Henderson Police Department?
She works with the District Attorney's Office and with Clark County.
Okay, no, not to my knowledge.
No, she doesn't.
She works for Metro, doesn't she? Yes.
She's called by the District Attorney's Office in many cases.
She's called by the district attorney's office, but she's not employed by them. She's an employee of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
Okay, no. To my knowledge, I've never worked with her.
She gave testimony yesterday, and would you agree with me that she's qualified to give expert testimony?
Again, I
She doesn't know.
don't know her.
I think it's a fair question. I mean, she was submitted and proposed as an expert yesterday.
Well, if she doesn't know her, I don't know what knowledge she has. I mean, you can voir dire her as to how she would have that knowledge, because she testified she doesn't know her.
Do you work with other DNA experts?
Not, we have, no, actually, we send all of our DNA to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department
So
for
it would be-
analysis.
And that's a good point. So is the reason you submit whatever evidence that you collect for analysis to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, is the reason being is they have people that are employed that are experts in reference to the analyzing of evidence that's collected by yourself.
Again, I'm not sure what the definition of expert would be or what their qualifications are to get hired in their position. I would hope and assume that they have hired people that are well qualified, but personally, I can't speak on the behalf of their individual qualifications.
In this case, we've heard that you took a swab from a cell phone, the
Yes.
screen of the cell phone, correct?
Yes.
And then you submitted it for further analysis.
Correct.
And you submitted it for further analysis to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, correct?
Yes, I booked it, and then I believe a detective or my supervisor is the one that filled out the form to request it be analyzed. But I did swab it and book it so that it could be later analyzed.
You've given testimony just moments ago that this was blood on the phone, correct?
Apparent blood.
Apparent blood. And if I told you that Ms. Papakostas testified yesterday that she could not confirm it was blood, do you have any reason to disagree with me?
I also did not confirm it was blood. I just said that the presumptive test of phenolphthalein came back with a positive result, which strongly indicates the presence of it being blood.
What's the percentage?
I'm not sure.
Are you aware of the existence of false positives?
Yes,
Are you aware what may cause a false positive?
not specifically.
So again, open question, correct? You can't give expert testimony concerning that was blood on the screen of this cell phone.
Right, I
correct?
never said I did. I said it was apparent blood due to my training experience. It appeared to be blood. That coupled with the positive phenolphthalein test indicates strongly that it is blood.
But when you say strongly, you can't quantify that, can you?
Correct.
So again, we should leave that to the experts as to whether or not they confirm that it's blood.
Which is why I always refer to it as apparent blood, because apparently it was blood.
In reference to the swabs, there was 2 that you took?
I took 3. 1 was used to do the presumptive test. 2 were actually booked in as evidence.
Okay. And again, you're not aware of what the results were as you sit here today.
Not the confirmatory results. The presumptives that I did personally, I'm aware of those results, but not what the results were passed after I booked them.
Fair to say that there's a presumption, but then you send it to Metro for a confirmation.
Right.
In reference to the swords, you testified last week and you're testifying today that you saw the swords, correct?
Correct.
You acknowledge their existence.
Correct.
You had testified that you looked at the swords and didn't see anything, correct?
Correct.
However, you did not swap the swords. did you?
Correct.
And you did not impound those swords for future evaluations, analysis, correct?
Correct.
So those swords were not submitted to Metro to confirm the absence of blood, correct?
Correct.
They were not submitted to Metro to confirm the absence of any other items of evidentiary value, like DNA, correct?
Correct.
Fair to say that you can't see DNA.
Correct.
Obviously, you are aware that the phone was submitted for a DNA analysis?
I'm aware that the swab that I took was submitted to be analyzed.
Okay. And we've heard testimony concerning that from the expert, Ms. Papakostas. But again, no swabs were submitted for the evaluation in the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's crime lab, correct?
Of the swords, no.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Any problem, Ms. Bates?
Are you able to see fingerprints on metal surfaces at times?
Yes, occasionally.
And did you inspect every inch of these 3 separate blades to look for potential blood and fingerprints?
Yes, we thoroughly looked at the blades and the handles of the swords to see if I could see anything. So it wasn't just fingerprints, wasn't just blood. I was looking at these swords in their entirety
And
to see if I noticed anything.
Had you seen anything, those would have been impounded.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Any problem, Mr. President?
Did you document, you prepared a report, a crime scene analyst report in reference to the steps that you took, the investigative steps you took, correct, at the Porcupine Rim?
not the investigative steps. I wrote a report documenting what we did. So pretty much what the scene consisted of and the photos that I took and then what I impounded.
Did you, and having done hundreds of crime scenes, I've reviewed hundreds of crime scenes, I'm assuming you've done several over the last 2 years, correct?
Yes,
Did you review that report in preparation for your testimony in this case?
yes,
You'd agree with me, you did not lay out any steps that were taken in reference to the preservation or the analysis of any evidence that may have been on those swords, correct?
no, that's not what we put in our reports.
So you didn't put anything, correct? In
Can you
reference to the
rephrase that?
reports, the steps that you took.
No, we do not document the steps that we take in our reports.
In your reports, you did not document looking at the swords, correct?
No,
You didn't document, I think, saying, looking over every inch of the swords for fingerprints, correct?
no,
You didn't document any of that.
no,
I have no further questions.
Any follow-up?
Well, you didn't document it in writing, but you documented by photography, correct?
correct. I took pictures of the swords. I don't document everything that I've looked at in an entire house. That would be, I wouldn't even begin to know how to document every single thing that I look at on a full house in every room. And so, no.
So as an example, if you take photos of a crime scene and you're looking for a big item like a head, I would presume that pursuant to that search warrant, you're opening every container, looking through every trash can and all that.
Yes,
We don't necessarily see photography of the trash can dumped out on the ground, but you testify under oath, this is what I observed and saw, and you have expectations through your agency, correct?
right. And I didn't write that I didn't find a head. So it's the same token.
Got it, thank you.
Yes. In reference to your preservation of whatever evidence you say you saw or didn't see, that's it. We don't have any photographs of the blades of the swords, do we?
Correct, because they weren't really an evidence that we took note of once we saw it. Had there been anything of note, we would have taken pictures of it.
You didn't book these for further analysis. You already testified to that,
Correct.
And for the record, Mr. Gusby, what exhibit is that?
It states Exhibit 659. You did document a white table in the garage of the Porcupine residence, correct?
I don't recall specifically focusing on a white table.
So there are things that you may have done or not done and you can't recall as you sit here.
I take overall pictures of the rooms in the house. So I take pictures normally from at least 4 angles, all 4 corners of the rooms looking at it. So just because there is a picture of a white table doesn't mean I necessarily focus in on it. Maybe there was something on top of it, or a lot of times I'll take pictures of things on tables or nightstands because I don't necessarily know what's in play or what we're going to find. So I'll take a picture of, say, a table or a nightstand, and then the detectives do their search. And so then if they say, oh, I found this item of evidence on this table, I likely have a picture of the table so we can likely see that evidence that they later found on that table.
But right now, but you've been testifying concerning steps that you took specifically in reference to these swords, correct?
You've asked me multiple questions
Yes.
about them, yes.
As has the
Correct,
prosecutor,
yes.
correct. And then I ask you about this table, and you don't really have a recollection of what you did or what you didn't do in reference to the white table in the garage.
I don't specifically remember doing anything with a white table. If it's in a picture, it's because it was there and I took a picture of the garage.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Do ladies and gentlemen of the jury have any questions for this witness? Okay, seeing no response, ma'am, you are excused.
Thank you.
Very much for your testimony here today. Statement by your next witness.
Clinton Campbell?
I do.
Yes. And officer, please state your full name and then spell it correctly.
My name is Clinton Campbell, ClintonCampbell.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I am a detective with the Henderson Police Department. I work as a digital forensics examiner in the lab.
What does a digital forensics examiner do?
Conducts digital forensics on electronic devices.
And can you explain generally the process by which you do that?
Yes, most of the devices we encounter are cell phones, and we'll get a cell phone from an investigator or a scene, and then take that cell phone to our lab to conduct an examination on it.
Okay. Have you received specialized education and training in order to do what you do?
Yes, I have.
And can you describe that briefly for the jury?
Yes, I attended courses at the National Computer Forensics Institute, which is put on by the Secret Service. It's a facility in Alabama where they train in digital forensics. With that training, I received certification through Cellebrite as a certified operator and a certified physical analyst. I also received a certification with Magnet Forensics as a certified examiner, and I'm also a certified examiner with NW3C, which is the National White Collar Crime Center.
Okay. So the jury understands you and other detectives divide up duties when it comes to a large investigation such as this. Is that right?
Typically, yes.
In this particular case, Detective Luke Good kind of focused in on the CDR or call detail record mapping stuff. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yep.
Detective Spangler handled the Burla mapping, correct?
Yes.
And what was your main role in this investigation?
I conducted examinations on the cellular devices.
And so I want to ask you generally, when you receive items of evidence, do you document that?
Yes,
And you essentially create your own report,
correct.
and then that report ends up getting copy and pasted or whatever into like a main officer's report.
Yes.
And in this particular case, how many devices did you receive for examination?
I don't recall. I'd have to see.
With
my
looking at the
report.
main report, refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Page 7. Doesn't have page numbers on it, but I counted them last time. May I approach?
Yes.
So starting down here, you see your name there?
Yes.
You need your readers?
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Does that refresh your recollection as to the totality of number of devices? And you can keep going if you need to.
Yeah. Yes, there were 11 devices. I also conducted an examination on the router at the residence.
Okay.
So technically 12 devices.
Technically 12 devices. So, in looking at this report, does it appear to be consistent with what you initially documented and then provided to Detective Ozawa?
Yes.
So with that in mind, I'm going to go through the devices you received and just have you acknowledge yes or no, did you receive them, okay?
Okay.
Samsung Galaxy Z Fold cell phone,
Yes.
Samsung Galaxy Note 8 cell phone,
Yes.
Samsung Galaxy A52 5G cell phone,
Yes.
Apple iPad 6 tablet,
Yes.
LG GBX ThinQ cell phone,
Yes.
Samsung Galaxy A52 5G cell phone, another one,
Yes.
Samsung Galaxy Tab A tablet,
Yes.
Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus cell phone,
Yes.
Samsung Galaxy S5 cell phone,
Yes.
a Lenovo tablet,
Yes.
and HP laptop.
Yes.
Okay. And so when you receive all of these devices, is it you and you alone that starts to analyze them, or are you working in tandem?
We'll work in tandem typically.
Okay.
Just depends on the duties that are happening at the time.
What types of tools are you using to analyze these different types of devices?
We use hardware and software that's made to analyze the devices, and specifically we'll use like gray key or magnet forensics devices and software, as well as Celebrite.
And are you trained in all of those different softwares and hardwares?
Yes.
Is Celebrite the main one that's used for cell phones?
Yes.
And was that done in this case?
Yes.
So, of the 11 devices, did I ask you in preparation for this trial a few weeks ago to go through and see which devices were active during an operative time period?
Yes.
And did you then narrow the devices down to those that were active during August 6, 2023, around 9 or 10 p.m. up until about 9 a.m. on August 7th of 2023?
Yes.
And did you narrow that down to 3?
I did.
May I approach?
Yes.
Before court today, did you and I and the defense attorney and their digital forensics expert sit down and go through a whole bunch of exhibits that we're both going to be addressing?
Yes.
Do you recognize these 3?
Yes.
This would be 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
And are these downloads from those 3 devices you narrowed down to active during the time period?
Yes.
I move for the admission of those.
What are the numbers?
4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, 6, any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
4, 5, and 6 will be amended.
Thank you. Permission to publish?
Commissioner Bernstein.
Publishing 4. So in Exhibit 4, we have item number 2, note 8, Jonathan timeline. Is that correct?
Yes.
When you add the title item number 2, is that 2 on that list of all the 11?
Correct.
Okay. And then it says note 8, what does that mean?
That is the model of the device.
And then it says Jonathan timeline.
Yes.
So when you go into Celebrite, Celebrite hardware plugs into the actual phone itself, correct?
Yes.
And then that hardware and software extract the contents of the device.
Yes.
When you extract the contents, are you attempting to extract every possible thing on that phone?
Yes.
It's like a little computer, right?
Correct.
So you're trying to get everything from it, and then you can focus on different categories, et cetera, once you've taken everything from it.
Yes.
And in this particular case, with this exhibit 5, we've narrowed the timeline a bit because I would imagine that small computer has a whole lot of stuff on it.
Yes. Yes.
And so here we have 5 subfolders. And before we get into them, I want to ask you, why do you title it Jonathan? Are you able to go into a device and determine ownership?
Yes.
How do you do that?
By looking at the data that comes from the device, typically there's an owner will assign a name to it or an email, and we'll use that information.
Okay, and so you confirmed this was the Jonathan device, correct?
Yes.
So, 5 separate folders. I'm going to start with call log. And I open that up just for the jury, since they're going to have this in the back. What does this PDF mean to these folders up here?
So the folders that are included with the PDF are dependencies or folders that are needed to open hyperlinks that are in the PDF. So if there's a photo or some other link that you need to open, then in the PDF you can open it straight from the PDF, but it's in those folders.
Okay. And so the PDF starts with on page 1, or it is 1 page, I apologize. Call logs, correct?
Yes.
And this shows, this first one in column 1, or I should say in row 1, says 8/7/23, 7:24:50 a.m. You see that?
Yes,
And it says UTC -7. Does that mean that this exhibit is already adjusted out of UTC time?
correct.
So this should be our Pacific Daylight Time, accurate time on the date in question.
Yes,
And it shows some missed calls here,
yes,
and then it says like the name, one's a private number, one's mom, another's mom, then we get into Tracy Willette, private number, Tracy Willette, you see that?
yes.
Okay. And so, when I close out of this, why are these folders included in the exhibit, basically?
They're typically included when the report is created, so that if there's any data that, or hyperlinks that need to be linked, they would be in that folders.
Okay. And so this one looks like just a random or generic image.
Yeah,
So, but anything that's relevant to the PDF is contained up here.
yes,
Could be audio, could be photo, could be any number of things.
yes.
I'm gonna close out of that. Move on to Exhibit 6. For the record, this says item number 3A52 Devier timeline, correct?
Yes,
Then inside, oh, looks like the same title. And then we have several subfolders here, all associated with the Devier phone, correct?
yes,
Let's start with messages. So again, inside the message folder, there's a PDF, and then there's 3 subfolders, right?
yes,
All right. And so this would be, the PDF, I'm sorry, would be the messages that you extracted from the phone during the operative time period.
yes,
All in chronological order, not pulling stuff out of it, correct?
correct.
Like not picking and choosing, it's just, it's a line,
Yeah,
a timeline.
yeah, from one time frame to the next.
Got it. And then again, whatever is up here would be associated with the PDF in that exact folder.
Yes,
You have web history, UFDR locations, searches, messages, locations, images, call log, and audio, correct?
yes.
When it comes to, if the jury sees these folders that say locations or UFDR locations, explain to them, is that something that you rely upon to determine the phone's location or not?
Not necessarily. When it comes to locations, the way that the Celebrite software pulls those out, it will pull from multiple databases. And some of those locations won't be as reliable as others because of how they're obtained by the device. For instance, if you have locations that have to do with navigation, those are going to be more accurate than ones that have to do with like a weather app or something like that. So some of the locations, the time stamps may not be accurate. So it's hard to take every single location we get in these reports as, gold. We have to be careful. And Celebrite actually provides a document that shows which databases are more reliable than others.
Okay. So I'm going to row 43, just picking a random one here, August 7th at 4:18 a.m. There is a latitude and longitude over here, correct?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. So I'm gonna feel access here. Because I'm on here. Okay. So I'm log out of this.
Then maybe plug in there.
Okay, well, let's do it this way. In preparation for this case, I asked you if you were able to determine from this where this Devyn device was throughout the night and into the morning of August 7th. Do you remember that?
I do.
And there are a bunch of GPSs, and we had a discussion about spot checking them and putting them into maps.
Yes.
Fair to say that there is not a single location in this phone away from the Porcupine Rim address during the operative time frame I've been discussing.
The time frame being
The-
10 p.m. to 9 a.m.
Yes.
And this is,
This
yeah, that's correct.
That's
Yes.
the area.
Yes.
So if you put in that lat long, it's going to show it at the Porcupine Rim.
Yes.
But what you're telling the jury is that that's not necessarily as reliable as you would like to rely on.
Correct.
So when it comes to location data, even though it shows them at Porcupine Rim all night, they need to be relying on the CDR cell towers for location.
It's a second verification. Yes.
Okay. And if the jury wants, they can just check these on a map,
Yes, they could.
Latin law.
Yes.
In this particular device, did I ask you to look at this device and see if you could tell whether the person who had this device was using it throughout the night into the morning hours that we've described?
Yes.
Were you able to see if there was active use on the phone?
There was some. Yes.
What was that?
There was some Instagram use. There were messages I think sent. That's what I can recall right now.
Okay. So, are there gonna be artifacts on a phone if, for example, if someone leaves a phone alone, goes somewhere else, and that phone receives, say, an email in the background, is that gonna show as, received?
It can show on the phone. Yes.
Okay, but you do have ways, for example, with Instagram, to see if someone's actively using the device.
Depending on what database that data comes from that you're
Understood.
looking at.
And with this exhibit, this Devyn phone, this device, was it in use, like active use, not passive use,
At certain points, yes.
throughout the evening
Yes.
and into the morning?
I don't recall the time frames for into the morning.
Can you look at, where can I go to show you, or to verify? Was it the web history?
Well, these are just specific to the time frame, and we've pulled out just the messages, just the searches. So I don't. You'd have to pull up the UFDR report
Okay.
to see some of that other stuff.
And the UFDR report is actually the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna pause there. We're gonna have a break, and we might do that a
Okay.
little bit later, so let's move on. Going now to exhibit four. That says item number 1, Z-fold Devyn timeline, correct?
Yes.
This particular device, did you actually download this 2 times?
I only downloaded it once.
You being your team.
Yes.
What was the purpose of doing it twice? Like, why would you have to do it twice?
I'm not sure on why the detective wanted to do that, but I could assume.
Okay, well, I don't want you to assume, but fair to say you're asked to check it once up until August 7th when the phone is seized,
Yes.
and then you're asked again to do it all the way up until August 16th or so?
Yes.
Okay. So within this folder, we have a whole bunch of subfolders yet again, correct?
Yes.
And this would include messages, locations, images, calls and call logs, audio, UFDR locations, web history, correct?
Yes.
And so as an example, let's go to the call log. Once again, in that subfolder, you have a PDF and then some supporting folders, correct?
Yes.
So with this particular device, I'm gonna jump down to rows 17 to 18. Or no, let me back up. So let's start with 10:58 p.m. That appears to be an outgoing call to Devyn at 10:58.
Yes.
Then there's a bunch of these Michaels home incoming. Does that mean this phone is receiving calls from Michaels home?
Yes.
11, 11:40, 11:12, 11:13, 11:13, 11:14. You see those?
Yes.
And these are missed calls.
Yes.
11:16, 11:18, 11:20. You see those?
Yes.
Some of those went to voicemail.
Yes.
Some were, and none of them appear to be answered, correct?
Correct.
And I'm gonna keep scrolling. All missed up until 11:59 p.m., correct?
Yes.
And then at 6:54 a.m., there is an answered call from a unsaved number, I guess, 485-5180, correct?
Yes.
That would be outgoing.
Yes.
And then an outgoing call to Jonathan Willett at 7:24 a.m.
Yes.
And it says answered.
Yes.
At 8:13 a.m., outgoing call to Jonathan Willett and it says answered.
Yes.
These are all the supporting files, correct?
Yes.
And that would be the same for any of these folders that the jury would like to open.
Correct.
At some point last week, did I send you a bunch of DFL Celebrite reports that the defense had provided me for you to verify?
Yes.
And did you in fact verify those were, they're from the phone, they're from the devices, they're actually contained within the devices?
Yes.
Mike, I'm gonna need your exhibits, just to say that. May I approach? And just for the record, the things you reviewed started with defense A through Z2. And you and the defense attorney and myself and their expert went back and verified these in the back room before trial.
Yes.
There are a couple of very specific items I asked you to look into. Is that right?
Yes.
There was a suggestion that there was a gun photo on Devier's phone from August 7th. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And did I ask you to look into that and say, hey, you know, was Devier looking at a gun photo on August 7th or creating one? You remember that?
I do remember
And
that.
did you create a separate report for that?
Yes.
Showing you 651. Does that appear to be the 6-hour photos that we referenced?
Yes.
And Judge, I'd move for the admission of 651.
In addition?
We could approach briefly.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have muted both rooms. Just so y'all know, that's me. If you're in the Nevada trial, just to let you know, I am going to pause this trial because I know that a lot of people want to see the orphan. He is going to be taking the stand, guys. And more importantly, I only got 10 minutes to prep him for this, how he got to do this stand stuff. Y'all know the taking the top trial class on crime. And I don't know if I prepped him appropriately because I didn't want him to take the stand. Personally, I didn't want him to take the stand, but since he feel like he got to, I gotta take this 10 minutes and I gotta prep everybody in regards to how this is supposed to work. So, unfortunately, I'm unable to talk in one room and be in the other room. If you would like to join us in the other room, that would be super and awesome. I will share the link, and as soon as he is done testifying, I will put us back into this trial. But here is the link if you want to come over and watch him testify. But we gotta talk about this first. I know. I need to go get me some popcorn. Okay. So, but we'll leave Florida in a little bit, just Shamrock, once today is over with courts, and then we'll go back over to Nevada. But Nevada started maybe about an hour ago, maybe. Ain't nothing going. They just talking about phone records. They talking about phone records and calling the same witnesses up. You ain't missing it. I don't know. It may help him. It may help him with sympathy, depending on what he say happened to him over there in that camp. I don't know what happened to him over in that camp. On the side note, they about to do the rocket launch. Do y'all want to see that? It just broke through my phone. It said Florida Live to Mars, New Glenn rocket set to launch from Cape. Is Canaveral? Okay, so they about to launch the rocket. Do y'all want to see that? It just broke through my phone. It's about to go to Mars. I don't know what they're going to do on Mars, but yeah, they about to do something up there on Mars. All right, they going to Mars. We here. Who knows? Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I'm okay with him testifying. I just don't think he should in some ways. Yeah, I guess it's just nothing that you could do. I mean, I think that he can go back in, he can describe how bad his upbringing was, what they did to him, just in order to gain some sympathy from everybody. But other than that, I don't think there's too much that he could do. And he can't get up there and doing all that crying because he blew that because he started crying in the beginning. So he messed that up yesterday. Oh, so you don't want to see them go up to you don't want to see them go up to Mars. Okay, Northwest. Yeah. I put the link in there. If you want to click on the link, it'll take you over there. Yeah, so yeah, and then we'll go back over here to Nevada. I mean, like, Barbara, we over here in the orphan trial. He's about to get ready to testify, boo. Yeah, Shamrock. That's the only reason why I want to hear better from the puzzle, because when he was in the actual interrogation room, you really couldn't. I mean, I couldn't really gauge what was going on. He was like, he found some gum. No popcorn. Dr. Rachel, can you please be looking at this testimony so you can come use this as some part of breaking it down to us? We will need to understand the who, what, when, where, and why. Lynn said her popcorn is popping. Pop, pop.